Hey, it's Patrick, and today I'm gonna show you how to swap out the rear suspension on your Harley-Davidson touring bike. The stock suspension is basically trash on a Harley-Davidson bagger. So no matter what type of rider you are, this is going to be extremely beneficial to your ride. And the other great thing about this is it's a really easy install. All we're gonna need is a 3/4 inch ratchet or wrench, and hopefully you have a torque wrench. And then we're gonna need a way to get the bike up off the ground. I'm gonna be using a flat jack because it kind of makes it real easy to raise that bike up and down. But if you have a buddy, you can put this up on some blocks and accomplish the same thing. So what I wanna do here is I don't wanna raise this completely off the ground. I'm just trying to unload the suspension so there's no pressure on it when we take it off. All right, I have my 3/4 inch socket and ratchet. I'm gonna take both shocks off. The reason I'm taking both shocks off is because I'm gonna put a little bit longer shock on. And if I still had one of those shocks on, I wouldn't be able to put the longer shock on the opposite side. We're gonna save our bolts because we're gonna reuse those. Ouch. Depending on the shock absorber you're using, you might have a little bit different hardware, but it's all basically the same. We have a sleeve that goes inside our spherical bearing here. Sometimes these can be tough to get in depending on which manufacturer you're using. And then we have a spacer. The spacer is gonna go on the bike side, so it spaces out our shock correctly with a little bit of blue Loctite. I like to put the top one in first and then raise my bike up to line up the bottom hole. That's because I'm using a little bit taller shock. I'll do that on both sides, and then we'll come back and torque everything at the end. So our torque spec from Harley is 33 to 35 foot-pounds on the top and 35 to 40 foot-pounds on the bottom. I have my torque wrench set at 35. I'm just gonna hit them all at 35. Just like that, 4 bolts, couple clicks of the torque wrench, and we are done. Now you wanna make sure you set your sag on these correctly before you go out and ride them. If you don't know how to do that, make sure you check out our video on how to set the sag on your suspension. If you have questions about the Ohlins shocks we used in the video, go ahead and click on the info tab on your desktop or mobile device. That's gonna take you to the product detail page where you can read other riders' reviews and more specs about the shocks. If you still have more questions, feel free to reach out to our customer service team. They would love to talk to you about what works best for you, your motorcycle, and your budget. I am Patrick. Thank you for watching. Go work on those motorcycles.